Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. I am so happy to have you join us again today for another fantastic show. And I just have a fantastic guest for you today. We have with us Shanti Benoit, and she has over a decade of experience in facial aesthetics. She began working as an RN for an oculoplastic surgeon, where she became experienced in administering cosmetic injections, skincare, and laser treatments. In this surgical setting, she found her passion for aesthetic medicine and decided to pursue her dreams of becoming a nurse practitioner. Shanti has since worked with a general plastic surgeon where she assisted in the operating and recovery rooms. She always strives to understand individual needs and concerns while naturally making patients feel comfortable and at ease during treatments and procedures. Once she graduated with her nurse practitioner license, she took time to backpack around the world while keeping a daily journal for the benefit of other aspiring travelers, which she published in a travel blog. She has visited 28 countries spanning 6 continents. After the year of travel, she returned to work in the industry she loves and settled close to family in the South Puget Sound. And after 18 months of opening Northwest Medical Arts, South Sound magazine honored her with the 40 Under 40 award. The Med Spa was voted best in Pierce County by the News Tribune and featured on the cover of 253 Lifestyle magazine. And I had the great honor of going into her business and experiencing how wonderful it is. And I just had to share her with all of you. So first off, Shanti, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, first off, before we chat about Northwest Medical Arts, I would to delve into what prompted you to take that year journey, and what was that like going through all those countries?
Yes. It came just, there was a really unique time in my life. So from when I was little, I always loved to travel. And I was finishing up nurse practitioner school, working for a surgeon, and who I worked for, I knew once I finished school, I'd look for another job because that office didn't utilize nurse practitioners. And my husband and I had just moved from Eugene. We had sold our house and we'd kind of put everything in storage. We were renting a small studio apartment and our lease was coming up. So we were going to have to move. And then my husband, who had kind of this career path over a decade working for a company, his company got bought out and sold. And so we were both in this really unique time where we were going to be transitioning into another job. We had all our stuff already packed up in storage. And, I just thought we don't have any children. If there's ever a time where we could get away, because in our normal life, working in our careers, we don't have, extended periods of time off. So I thought, man, if there's ever a time, this would be it take a moment. We actually took a year and, travel the world, experience different cultures, different parts of our world. And then we could always come back and go back to work, right? So that was kind of the idea behind it. It just seemed like an opportunity, just to be able to experience that as an adult. Because as an adult, we often don't get very much time off, like I said, in our normal lives. So, and you could actually travel for much less money than you can live here. And so it didn't, since we didn't have, a house and things here, it was actually, not that expensive to do something like that. I think a lot less expensive than people might think.
Yeah. And oh, I bet it was an experience of a lifetime.
Absolutely. I learned so much. I really, it impacted my life in a great way, even to, down the road, years down the road, taking the step to start my own business and kind of taking that risk, because it was, it was intimidating to kind of walk away from our incomes, to leave our families. My mom took my dog. There was just a lot of things to
Oh,
consider
oh,
being gone for that long. And, it was a little scary and I had some, fear around it. But I always look back and think if I would have let that stop me, though, if I would have let the fear stop me and I wouldn't have done it, I would have missed out on one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And so that has continued to kind of play a role in how I live my life now, even to opening Northwest Medical Arts, because it was very scary to do that also. But I thought, I don't want to miss the reward that it could have.
oh, that is just so fantastic and how inspiring. And I bet that did just open you up to so many things. So
Yeah.
once returning back, what came to you to create the Northwest Medical Arts? And
Yes.
what was your passion behind that?
Sure. So when I came back, I went to work for another doctor up in Seattle, and I we were looking to buy a house, and it was a really crazy housing market time. There wasn't much available, and so I had found this job up in Seattle where I thought I'd eventually, find a home close to there. And as it turned out, that's not what happened, and we ended up moving to Gig Harbor. We found a house in Gig Harbor. So then I was commuting from Gig Harbor to Seattle, spending about 3 hours a day in the car. And, that got difficult after a while. And then I just also wasn't exactly able to do all the things that like I love and feel the most passionate about with, kind of over my decade of experience in the industry. I was still limited a bit. And I just, would be driving and I met my partner there. And my business partner, she also lived in the South Sound. So we would commute together on Fridays, driving up to Seattle in that traffic and started kind of daydreaming there might be a better way, what if and that was definitely always the goal becoming a nurse practitioner too, is that I could practice more independently, and eventually that was kind of the dream, have my own practice. I just didn't know, the time or how that was all going to fall into place. But I usually tell people that that commute after several years was just bad enough to kind of give me that little push. And I got to meet my partner, Heather, where we just, we clicked so well together. We shared the same visions, the same goals, and a beautiful spot opened up down south in University Place. And we just kind of decided, let's do it, because I keep telling people, I think if I never did it, the risk of me driving to Seattle, wondering if maybe I could have done something, that would be greater than the risk of failing with the business. So, we just kind of weighed those risk versus benefit statements and, believe that we had something special together, Heather and I, that we could really create a place and a space where, everybody feels welcomed, and that is a little bit different than your standard, medical spas that are in the industry. So, and then because I've, been working in this environment for a long time, I really am motivated by, I think it's very powerful to feel your best. And that was one thing I got from traveling the world too, because when you travel, there's a lot of problems and there's a lot of suffering and a lot of things that need attention, right? And so when I backpacked around the world and saw all these different, areas that needed attention, I kind of did those soul searching, like, where do I fit in this? And whether it's, focusing on clean water or, fair wages or domestic violence or clearing landmines. There's so many areas and so many people that spend their whole life dedicated to a certain issue and can really, make a difference. And so what I found though and kind of where I found my peace is that there's so many issues. It's going to take us all. It's not just one person that can go and like, impact everything. It's going to take us all. So if I can play a role in helping someone feel their best, where they go out into their life with their skill set that's probably totally different than mine, and they can touch people, the ripple effect, that's what like makes me so excited and is so inspiring because you never know the full potential of that ripple effect. And I feel like that's what's going to really change the world, is if, we all can, kind of be united and putting our best foot forward and going and making the most impact we can in our day-to-day lives.
Oh, Shanti, that is a beautiful message. That
Thank
is
you.
a beautiful message. Thank you.
Yes.
So tell us, give the audience an idea of some examples of some of your services that you provide for others.
Sure. So we kind of, specialize in helping people look and feel their best. We do all non-surgical cosmetic treatments. So my business partner Heather and I, we do injectables from things like Botox and dermal fillers. We have medical grade skincare lines. We treat different skin conditions like acne, rosacea, melasma. We have lasers and microneedling, platelet-rich plasma. We have a medical esthetician that can do things like facials and, kind of rejuvenate the skin that way. We have some vitamin therapies. We do like vitamin B12 shots and have some IV therapies, but really all kind of the non-surgical cosmetic treatments. So usually what it looks like, when someone reaches out to us is we do, really comprehensive consultation to address, what their concerns might be, what's driving them to come in. And, Heather and I both look at it from a standpoint is the cosmetic world can be really overwhelming. Like you can Google and go online and find all these different treatments and, not really know what might be the best for you. So we do a comprehensive consultation, assess the skin, assess what the concerns might be, and then just give patients the options. And I like to explain why we recommend treatments. So when someone comes to me, they don't just sit down and I say, oh, you need 40 units of Botox and this many syringes of filler. But I explain what the different treatments are and how they work. So then the patient can kind of understand why do we recommend microneedling over a laser treatment or over, maybe some injectables. And then they can just make their most informed decision. So that's what I tell my patients. I'm here just to give them the information so they can really truly make, their most informed decisions about all these different treatments that are out there.
I love that. And you have great experience in this industry. Share a bit about what has been some of the best experiences for you and how you brought that into your great business.
Yes, absolutely. So I just feel so fortunate that when I started as like a baby RN, I got the tremendous opportunity to work with one of the best oculoplastic surgeons in the area, and that was in Eugene, Oregon, Dr. Huntz. And not only was he an amazing surgeon, he really was an artist, and you could see that in his work. So I got to work with him in surgery and kind of learned from a true facial aesthetic guru, about injectables and laser treatments. So I always feel so thankful that was my foundation. And that's what really made me fall in love kind of with the mix of medicine and art and seeing that it can be very powerful to, give people that confidence, make them feel again like they're just putting their best foot forward. So that's where I started. And then from there, I spent 5 years working with him. And from there, we had moved to Portland and I worked for another wonderful a general plastic surgeon up in Portland. And that again just kind of confirmed with me that this is kind of the industry I fell in love with. I love, making people feel their best. And so that was, then to ultimately be able to do it more independently, I, continued my schooling, became a nurse practitioner. And then that was when I had that transition moment where, okay, before I like really settle into this, long-term career, maybe this is a moment where I can take and, get some global perspective and, some other world experience. So that's when we took the break and traveled and then kind of came back to land, in the same industry.
Yeah. And so I love that. Basically, you are helping others feel their best and feel good and, feel
Yes.
like I'm improving myself. That makes me feel really good.
Yes, and it looks different for everybody. Some people, it might be some injectables, Botox fillers, but other people, it might be clearing up their acne or, helping them with their skin complexion. So there's really a variety of treatments and options out there. It doesn't, I think a lot of times when people think of this industry, we think of kind of the overdoneness that can happen, the celebrities that have gone a little too far and or when we see people that don't quite look, there's something about it that doesn't quite look normal or natural, and then that's kind of what is thought of when we think of this industry. But it really that's not what we specialize here in. So we're not here to change the way anybody looks, but just actually highlight their own unique and beautiful features, so again that they can feel like they're putting their best foot forward. Because unfortunately, as we age, little things start changing and we might not feel what we see when we look and we see these changes. And that can be hard. And so I think it's a very normal and natural feeling about, even when we get dressed in the morning and we put on clothes and we go, oh, I don't like that. That doesn't make us feel
Mhm.
great, versus when we put on something that, like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. It changes how we go out and present ourselves. So that's what we really, specialize in here. And again, it doesn't just mean big lips or anything like that. It can mean a lot of different things.
Yes. And I think a lot of your services also may be things so many of us didn't realize we could do.
Yeah,
They're out there. There's,
yeah.
there's a lot of great stuff.
There's
I
a lot of good technology
Yeah,
and regenerative treatments, even using, your own platelet-rich plasma and things like that that we can do now.
it's amazing. What is the Pierce County Kindness Campaign that
Okay,
you
so
got
yes,
recognized
this
for?
is something I was really inspired about. So I am a huge fan of random acts of kindness. So there's been times in my life where people have shown me just a simple, small, random act of kindness, but it actually, because of the moment and space I was in, it completely and profoundly affected me. And so again, is another thing, I just feel like this is so powerful. And so what happened is it kind of stemmed a little bit too. I'm not big into social media. Like, I never had a personal social media account. It just wasn't something I did. But then starting a new business in this day and age is kind of something you have a presence on. And so, I started doing social media, which is very awkward and uncomfortable for me. It's not my favorite. It's really hard for me to feel like I'm, getting on there and promoting myself or something like that, or taking pictures of myself. It feels very uncomfortable for me. And I'm seeing these different things on social media that just go viral and spread like crazy. And I just kind of got the idea, since it was so hard for me to like come up with things I wanted to say, about the business or our services, things like that. If I could give kindness stories and spread kindness, this was the idea behind it. It would give me something where I could have a social media presence and I could have content, but content that felt good to me. And so my idea was, there's actually a national random acts of kindness day, and it happens in February. And so I just kind of started thinking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to do something for random acts of kindness day, like whatever
Love
it is.
it.
And then I thought, what if we take that week and we encourage people to submit their stories of random acts of kindness? And it could either be kindness that they witnessed happening, that they did for someone, that they received. And to incentivize them to share their stories, I teamed up with other local business in the area, and we offered some prizes and some gifts. So when people could share their story, we could give them a little something to say thank you for sharing. And then it gave me content of things that I could share. And because I really feel that kindness inspires other kindness. So there's a lot of bad news that circles around and things that don't make us feel the most happy. But there's also a lot of good. And these small things, like nothing is too small, that can actually really make a big difference in people's lives. And I feel like sharing those heartwarming stories kind of did two things for me. It made me feel a little bit more comfortable being on social media. And then second, I just see the vision for it. This is something I want to grow every year to become bigger and bigger and have more people share it. Because if we can share these more heartwarming stories, I just really feel like we can create a kinder community. So with the help of, some very important people in my life, we presented it to the county and to our city, and we actually got it officially proclaimed. So Kindness Week is an official week now in Pierce County every February. And we also got the mayor of University Place came and presented us a certificate of recognition for creating Kindness Week. So we've only had one so far, but this February will be the next Kindness Week. And obviously, we encourage kindness year round, but this is just an opportunity to draw attention to it. And so that was kind
So
of the inspiration
exciting.
and motivation behind it. So every year I hope it becomes, bigger and that more
Bigger.
people share it and more people participate, because I feel like it can really make a big difference.
Oh, that is so awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that is so awesome. Kindness Week. What
Yeah.
a brilliant idea and what a beautiful gift.
Yes.
We're
For
kind
me
of,
too. Hearing
yeah.
people's submissions, I mean, it was just such a gift.
Oh, I love it. Your
Mhm.
spa actually was just awarded the best of Pierce County by the Tacoma News Tribune. How did that make you feel? And anything you want to share about how that made you feel to other businesses out there?
Yeah, so oh man, that was just such I felt it's such an honor. So the Best of Pierce County, it was based on votes. So people voted for us. And we're a new, fairly new business, just over 18 months. And it was just so heartwarming that enough people went on, even though we haven't been, established in the community for years and years, enough people came in and cared about it enough to take the time out of their day to go and vote. There was this whole period of voting, and it was very unexpected because there was a lot of med spas in the category in that
So
category. So
exciting.
it was very surprising that out of, oh gosh, I mean, I feel like there's probably over 20 that were listed, that the people, our patients, our family, our friends, the people who have seen us and know us as providers, that they were impacted enough to take the time out of their day and go and vote for us. So
Love it. I
that was
love it.
really exciting to happen so early on and kind of like our business.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And for those, in the local area, they can come see you. For those out of the area that want to maybe get some of your amazing products and learn
Yes.
about that, share your website and how they could maybe connect with you, even though from a distance and gain from that.
Sure. So, yes, we have all top of the line medical grade skincare here. It's all available on our website, which is nwmedicalarts.com. Also, again, just like services, the world of products can be kind of overwhelming too, because there's a lot of products out there. And again, it's hard to know, what might be best for your skin. So we also do virtual consultations. So you could go on the website and book a virtual consult where we can do, a Zoom meeting and get to see each other and again, assess the skin, assess what the concerns might be, and we can make, some recommendations based on our experience, and then you could order the products right through our website, nwmedicalarts.com, and they would ship directly to your house for free. And that helps us as a small business to, get them from us, but also you could get it with the education and knowing why. Maybe, this product might do more for you than something else. The world of skincare, especially, it can be challenging because it's not FDA regulated, meaning that any company can make any claim about a skincare product. And that's why you see these, on TV, these miracle cream commercials, or, you put it on tonight and tomorrow everything's great. And, I always like to educate that, miracle creams don't really exist, but there is real science behind the medical grade skincare where these companies have done, the clinical trials, the double-blinded research, and can show you on a cellular level what these topicals have the power of doing. So, I feel like as a consumer, just being educated what you need in a daily skincare routine and what are kind of the biggest bang for your dollar things out there. We could definitely do that in a virtual consultation, and then you could have them, like I said,
Oh, I love
shipped
it.
and delivered to your house.
I love it. I love it. Oh, Shanti, we have just a couple minutes left in the show. What last message do you want to give to everybody today?
Oh, okay. I just, I'm so thankful to be here, and I love, your mission and vision and your book that you came out because, happiness, the way we feel day to day, it's just so, so powerful, and how we can all go out and impact others too. So, I like to send the message that it is okay to take care of yourself and, invest time, energy into feeling your best, because that's how I feel that you're going to be able to make the most difference. So I think some people, and it doesn't have to be at the expense of others. So we also created membership programs where a portion of our membership revenue goes to a local nonprofit at the end of each quarter. And so I really want to just express the idea that you can uplift yourself and your community. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And it can actually be even more impactful if we do it together. So, yes, you can also find out about our membership programs on our website, nwmedicalarts.com. You can schedule any appointments, consultations in person or virtually. Or you could just send us a message, and we can add you to our mailing list, because we do a lot of community events. So if you want to just keep track on what we're doing, or what community local things might be happening, you can get added to our mailing list, and we'll send out a monthly newsletter about what's going on.
Oh, Shanti, thank you. And thank you for all you do for others, all you do for the community. And it's just fantastic. I am just so excited, and I am just so grateful to have connected with you and met you, and happy to share you with everything. This is
Thank you,
beautiful.
Paula. I feel
Yeah.
the same. I feel very fortunate
Oh,
and happy to meet you as well.
thank you so much. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us today. Love, hugs, and blessings. Shanti, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you.
Thank you.